This evening, fire at Riverview causes significant damage, leaves 12 homeless. Murder investigation launched after 81-year-old pensioner found dead in Kabura village. Government to launch solar project aiming to drastically reduce energy subsidies in London. In the region, Peru roadblocks resume as president urges peace, calm, unity. And internationally, senior Philippine police urged to resign to cleanse force. Welcome to another edition of Channel 2's Headline News Update. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Our top story tonight is the devastating fire that swept through the Riverview neighborhood. On January 2nd, 2023, the Ghana Fire Service received a call about a fire at Lot 7C Riverview in Georgetown. The fire affected a two-storied building and three other buildings, causing significant damage and leaving 12 people without a home. An investigation revealed that the fire was caused by a child who had been left unattended and was playing with matches. The flames from the matches ignited a chair cushion and caused the fire to spread. The fire service used 3 jets to extinguish the blaze. A sub-officer was injured during the firefighting efforts. The Ghana Fire Service has repeatedly warned about the dangers of fires and urged people to be cautious and to ensure children understand the importance of not playing with matches and other fire starters to avoid these tragedies and preserve life and property. In other news, yesterday around 4:30 p.m., the Ghana Fire Service was alerted to a fire at the Christchurch Secondary School. Upon arrival, firefighters saw smoke emanating from the building. Quick action and expert firefighting resulted in the source of the fire being identified and contained. Preliminary investigations have revealed that the fire started in the school's science laboratory. However, investigations are ongoing. The Ghana Fire Service would like to advise citizens to be mindful of fire prevention methods, get equipped with fire suppressants, and exercise caution within homes and businesses. Police in Regional Division 1 are investigating the alleged murder of Stanley Williams, an 81-year-old pensioner from Kabura village in Moruca, Northwest District, that occurred between Tuesday, January 3rd and Wednesday, January 4th, 2023. The suspect, a 25-year-old laborer from the same area, was arrested and is in custody. According to Williams' reputed wife, 28-year-old Verta Torres, around 11 p.m., while she and Williams were asleep, the suspect went to their home and requested to sleep on his grandmother's bed. According to the woman, the suspect, who is Williams' nephew-in-law, would often sleep over at their home. However, he became annoyed when Williams refused to let him sleep on his grandmother's bed. Shortly after, the woman said Williams went outside to urinate. She said he started screaming, and when she looked, she witnessed the suspect chopping the victim's body before fleeing the scene. The matter was reported to the police station, and Williams was later pronounced dead at the Kumaka District Hospital. The body has been taken to the hospital's mortuary for a post-mortem examination. The suspected weapons has not yet been recovered. Police have, however, arrested the suspect and brought him to the police station, where he remains in custody. The investigation is ongoing. Stick around after the break. Government to launch solar project aiming to drastically reduce energy subsidies in London, and the GWI to install 35,000 water meters in households to reduce water loss.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our stores, you're welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries, and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. However, Maison Francois is more than just chocolate. We serve lunch, dinner, afternoon tea, and even Sunday morning mimosa brunch. Our convenient location at 133 Thomas Street, Kitty, makes it the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. Treat yourself with the taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Welcome back. The Guyana Utility Scale Solar Photovoltaic Program is set to significantly reduce the amount paid in subsidies for electricity in Linden. The announcement was made by GuySalt Program Director Amir Dilawar, who said the savings could be programmed for the benefit of Linden residents. The project, which the Norwegian Agency Funds for Development Corporation, involves the installation of 8 utility-scale solar photovoltaic systems in Linden, Essequibo, and Berbice. It also includes programs to empower women in the community and train young professionals in the energy sector. This US $83 million project is part of the US $220.8 million earned by Guyana through its Forest Climate Services through its partnership with Norway. The program aims to diversify Guyana's economy and facilitate a smooth transition to cleaner, cheaper, renewable energy sources. In keeping with Guyana's low-carbon development strategy, some 265,000 consumers within the Demerara-Berbice interconnected system, Linden Electrical System, and Essequibo systems are set to benefit from fortified renewable energy. In other news, in a move to improve the monitoring of water usage and reduce water loss, some 35,000 households will be equipped with water meters in 2023. Chief Executive Officer of Guyana Water Incorporated, Sheikh Bash, disclosed this during a press briefing at the Guywa Boardroom, Vincent Road on Tuesday. Bash said in 2022, Guywa met its installation target of 20,000 water meters. He said this was to maintain sustainability as there is currently a 67% loss of non-revenue water. GWI is hoping to reduce that figure to 55%, eventually to 50% in 2022. Guywa also repaired over 200 leakages on the east bank of Demerara and many more along the east coast and commissioned 10 wells. Some 50 wells are slated for the construction in 2023. 20 of these will bring potable water to the coast, while the remaining 30 will bridge gaps that exist in water access across the hinterland. GWI will also construct another 13 new water treatment plants this year to the tune of some $32 billion. 7 of those contracts, valued at a combined cost of $14.6 billion, have been signed, while the other 6 are expected to be tendered in February. Don't go away after the break. Why the cocoa industry is still using child workers in Ghana, and senior Philippine police urged to resign to cleanse force.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Ghana. From the moment you enter our stores, you're welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries, and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. However, Maison Francois is more than just chocolate. We serve lunch, dinner, afternoon tea, and even Sunday morning mimosa brunch. Our convenient location at 133 Thomas Street, Kitty, makes it the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. Treat yourself with the taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown. Only at Maison Francois.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverview and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Anti-government demonstrations and roadblocks have resumed in Peru after a 2-week pause as the South American nation continues to reel from last month's impeachment, arrest, and detention of former President Pedro Castillo. Al Jazeera's Mariana Sanchez reports.
A march led by 10 coffins, a symbolic reference to the people who died in December when the army opened fire at protesters near the airport in the Andean city of Ayacucho.
My son was taken from me. He was 20 years old. I want justice.
The families of the victims blame President Dina Boluarte for the violent crackdown and want her resignation.
She is a murderer, a dictator entrenched with Congress. We demand her immediate resignation.
There were protests in several regions on Wednesday. highways were blocked in Cusco, in Puno many clashed with police, demanding new elections to be held immediately. Although many different groups around the country want different things and they're not coordinating among regions, there is one voice being heard louder and louder, and that is the demand for closing of Congress and the reform of the Constitution. 74-year-old Enrique Torres has no time to join protests. He lives from crop to crop, barely feeding his family. As he plants beans, he reflects on his anger at Peru's political elite.
Farmers like me suffer from a lack of rain, but congressmen don't do anything for us, like improvements or irrigation. How must we live? That is what I ask politicians, that the laws change to amend the constitution to one that would favor all of us.
In the district of Socos in Ayacucho, most farmers live like Enrique, working the fields, and these days listening to the news of the nationwide discontent they say they share. Community leader Hilda Rodriguez says politicians never remember them.
The rich politicians take advantage of us. For them, laws and justice exists, but there's no law or justice for us. We want equality for our people.
As protests resume, President Boluarte is urging for peace. The government says development and growth can't stop and is promising security forces will act responsibly while protecting private and public property. But for the people in Socos and many other poor regions in Peru, development and growth is just a distant dream. Mariana Sanchez, Al Jazeera, Socos, Ayacucho.
Internationally, hundreds of thousands of children in West Africa are working in hazardous conditions on cocoa farms despite international campaigns against child labor. Al Jazeera's Ahmed Idris reports.
For the first time in his young life, Enoch gets his first taste of chocolate. He's been working on his family's cocoa farm for 7 years. Enoch's father says he put his son to work to prepare him for life's challenges.
I don't have any money to pay laborers, and because there are no schools nearby to accommodate all the children, they help with the farm work.
Children as young as 4 are brought to farms to become conditioned to such an environment as they grow. But new rules are being introduced in Europe that aim to enforce stricter protection of human and children's rights as well as the environment. And producers in countries like Ghana believe they could be affected.
Activists say more than half of all children living in agricultural areas are engaged in work, most of them dangerous work.
Activist Emmanuel Labi knows what it's like to work as a child farmhand. He grew up on a cocoa farm but later graduated from university. His case is considered exceptional.
I would have just dropped out as my colleague have always been doing. Most of my friends, ladies, got pregnant along the line.
Across West Africa, 1.5 million children are involved in cocoa farming. Many work as farm laborers and earn less than $1 or nothing at all. Officials and agents travel to rural communities to buy cocoa beans for $60 a sack. But they sell at 2 or 3 times that on the international market.
As a cocoa farmer, how much will you earn after harvesting your cocoa? The price is even lower, as much as 800 Ghana cedis. So all the time you see our children are closer to us, there is no quality education for them.
Farmers say attempts by Western cocoa buyers to force down prices is keeping hundreds of thousands of children out of school and condemning them to a life of poverty. And they argue only by them receiving better prices and education being improved can the lives of children like Enoch improve too. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Hiampenica.
And finally, the Philippines Interior Minister has urged hundreds of top-ranking police to resign as the government seeks to cleanse the corruption-tainted force of officers involved in illegal drug trade. Al Jazeera's Barnaby Lowe has more.
It was a surprise move and a radical one. On Wednesday, the Philippines Interior Secretary, Benher Abalos, asked for the resignation of all police colonels and generals.
Lumalabas na malaki ang problema.
It appears that there is a big problem in our police force. It appears that there are generals and colonels involved in drugs. It is difficult to fight a war against illegal drugs if supposed allies could shoot your back. We need to clean our ranks. We need the trust of the people.
A series of stings has led to the arrest of at least 2 senior anti-drug officers and the seizure of almost a ton of methamphetamine.
Thousands of people died in the war on drugs waged by former President Rodrigo Duterte. Many were street dealers and casual drug users. But throughout his 6-year term, Duterte always claimed he had evidence that high-ranking police officials were also involved.
Abalos admits his call for mass resignations is a shortcut, but he says only those who are found to have links to the drug trade will actually be let go. Police leadership says they will comply, but human rights groups are concerned that the minister's request undermines due process.
Many of these police generals, they have rights too. I don't think it's fair to expect them to abandon those rights.
And there's fear that cases of abuse by the police will be swept under the rug.
We anticipate that after all of this, Mr. Abalos might say, oh, well, they've resigned. They're no longer in the service, so case closed. And in that sense, that is a disservice to the victims of the drug war.
So far, only a handful of cops involved in drug war killings have been convicted. The government refuses to be subjected to an independent probe by the International Criminal Court. But rights groups say no matter what, the ICC must stay the course. Barnabillo, Al Jazeera, Manila.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2's Headline News Updates. Tune in on Friday at 5:30 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.